biggest diamond found in more than a century has been unearthed in Botswana. The fist-sized stone weighs in at an enormous 2,492 carats, or around half a kilo, and was his second largest ever to be discovered in a mine.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Howard, and welcome to Critical Thought. I have one question to start this discussion off. Does the economy obey the same laws as electricity? I really want y'all to think about this question. Does the economy obey the same laws as electricity? Now, if that was the case, that would mean that the economy could be turned on and off like a light switch, right? I really want y'all to think about this. The economy and electricity both operate under basic fundamental laws. The laws of economics describe the behavior of people and groups of people and how they interact with each other when it comes to supply and demand. The laws of electricity describes the behavior of electrical charges and how they interact with each other, and how they produce electrical fields and electrical currents. So how do we investigate this situation? Through research. Let's take, for example, economic research. Economic research is the study of the structure of the economy in order to understand, create, and establish an economy that can be predictable or eventually manipulated. Let's talk about it right here on Critical Thoughts. Let's look at this from a different approach. Let us use science for an example. Electricity is the movement of electrons between atoms. Everything in the universe is made up of atoms. The air we breathe, the water we drink, even the human body is made up of atoms. Economics is the study of how people allocate resources for the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. This puzzle that I'm putting together, this picture that I'm painting that I want y'all to see, is a system that revolves around a network. This network is very mysterious. In order to unravel this mystery, science is the key. Through controlled experiment when dealing with the population, whether it be vaccines, job losses, or the food supply, the psychological response to the shock of any event will create a complete breakdown of society. Science is merely a means to an end. The mean is knowledge, the end is control.
Take, for example, the recently reported good news of the trade deficit narrowing. Williams says, what we saw was the very unusual narrowing of the deficit. Now that's generally good news, but if you look at why the trade deficit was narrowing, it wasn't that we were having new surging exports. Instead, we were having collapsing domestic consumption. People weren't buying things. People were not buying goods. So the imports were falling off, and that narrowed the deficit. That is not a healthy sign. The last time you saw something like that was the beginning of the Great Recession, 2008 to 2009. We still haven't recovered from the Great Recession. If rate cuts don't happen soon, is the economy going to tank? Williams says the economy is tanking, and I'll contend it already has, although we've not seen it in the GDP reporting. The ultimate thing here is that you have a collapse in the dollar. I'm talking about a hyperinflationary collapse. Your purchasing power becomes worthless. What you have in gold or canned goods or real estate, that'll be your assets, hard assets. In closing, Williams says the underlying weakness is with the consumer. Until the consumer gets turned around, you're not going to get a fundamental change in the economy. The economy is going to get weaker.
We live in a consumer-based economy. we really don't produce anything of real value other than our talents, and our services can be declined at any time. We devote so much time and energy into an unproductive system that does not work. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. But this process of increased preoccupation has assigned us to a long-term social duty. What y'all think that is? Some of us work from sunrise to sunset, 6 days a week.
Welcome to Weaponizing Data Science for Social Engineering.
This system has knowledge of our personal preferences. It also understands the forces that can change the structure of the economy and how the behavior of the population can be predicted and eventually manipulated. Social engineering, or the automation of society, requires a lot of data in order to predict when society will arrive at that moment when we are ready to give up or surrender. I think we already have. We accept nonsense so freely. I have a video clip that I want y'all to check out. To me, I think it's important. I think this information is very important. It's about 2.5 minutes long. Let's get into it.
Yeah, the situation is very bad. Remember that saying that we're in a state of terminal decline, I know you don't believe that, is a prediction about the future. And Churchill always said the future, though imminent, is obscure. But there are some deep things wrong. The situation reminds me of the situation in the Revolutionary War, when there was a fundamental difference of opinion about what constituted title to govern. And that was a fundamental difference about the nature of people. The King George maintained that he was born to rule us, and we were born to serve him. And he had a charitable understanding of that. He said that he had no choice but to rule us and to rule us well, but we had no choice but to obey him. And that's what the difference of opinion was about. And in 1860, there was a large faction threatening to become the dominant faction that had the view that I don't think there was ever a pro-slavery faction that was threatening to dominate. But there was a faction that was threatening to dominate, and that was the faction that slavery doesn't make any difference in a free country. That was Stephen Douglas's position. So both of those things are a fundamental dispute about the nature of people and about the nature of government. And we have that today. And what's it like today? People think that there's a lot of ways to state it, but an abbreviated way is they think that expertise is the title to rule. Expertise is expressed in two things: in the scientific method, which we don't apply very well these days, and it's expressed in bureaucratic processes, and they are the legitimate source of authority. And so that's why that idea has fueled the government becoming huge and developing a regulatory state that can dominate now. They now specifically, explicitly disobey orders from elected officials. And in the press, directives of elected officials are treated as intrusions. And, the Trump administration revealed a lot of that, but it's been apparent for a long time. So that's what the crisis is about. And then government that's not responsive to the people is not likely to be very good. Government that's responsible to people in the wrong way is not likely to be very good. And we've got both problems today. So you're right. There's decay everywhere you look.
Industry fall into 3 categories or classes, however you want to see it. We got 1, capital, money and resources. 2, goods, products. And 3, services. The action of everyday people. The economy consists of an uninterrupted flow of investment, production, distribution, and consumption, like occurrence, Electricity consists of a closed circuit that allows currents of electrons to flow. The health of the economy is measured by the GDP, gross domestic product. Electricity is measured in watts and kilowatts. Every strategy requires careful understanding of all its connecting parts. The system is analyzed, then broken down into its subsystems and analyzed again until we reach the source.
We know that voltage is negative and positive charges. And if it's large enough, it can cause electrons to move through air and insulate. We also know what can happen when a wire is connected between two charges. Watch. In these examples, the reactions occur due to a tremendous number of electrons moving from one charge to another. This movement of electrons is called current flow. In this lesson, we'll show you a few things about current.
We lack the basic knowledge and understanding when it comes to economic and energy and how vital it is in our daily life. Electricity is considered a secondary energy source. Oil, coal, and natural gas are primary. Energy demand and economic growth is necessary for society's success. Economics affect everything from politics, industry, business, and even our behavior. Economic amplifiers not only gain power and control, but also causes changes within the system that allows for manipulation in the market. There's profit in confusion. Create the problem, offer the solution. This preconceived idea we have needs to be shattered in order to understand the silent weapons that are being used in our daily lives. A man that does not know his past has no future. Until next time.
So be easy, be easy, be easy, be easy, be easy, be easy. Don't be greedy, don't be greedy. Just be easy, be easy, be easy, be easy, be easy, be easy.